Tomorrow is Safer Internet Day, a day celebrated across the globe in over 170 countries, with thousands of young people joining in across the UK. This year, we are focusing on the information we can find online. It is incredible just how much information is out there online and how much we rely on it. People also say that there are lots of things online that are unbelievable. Unbelievable can, of course, have the positive meaning of amazing, but also has a negative meaning in not to be trusted. Here are 4 ways that we can receive information: TV, radio, the internet, newspapers. Think about which one you use the most for finding out information. The internet is the most used source by Dover College pupils. Now think about which one of these 4 is the most reliable and accurate. The TV was thought to be the most accurate and reliable by our pupils. Why though? What sort of things do you see on the internet that are not reliable or accurate? What do you do if you do see information that you think might not be accurate or reliable?
Have a look at these social media posts. Are they trustworthy, and how can you tell? Do you trust it?
Kinda and kinda not.
There's no profile picture. It doesn't say anyone's name.
It's Photoshop. Like, look, you can see in her glasses that she's literally at a beach and you see the sunset on her.
Oh yeah.
If that were fake, I'd find it really hard to confront my best friend because, I don't want to offend people. I don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
But you go.
There's another person cut out of the picture, which it would say maybe that they don't like another person in the picture.
It looks like a bottle of water. That's true. That's true. Wait, what does it say? Lots of you ask where I get my energy from. I think I've discovered the perfect fitness. It's eternal youth.
A big scam, definitely. Because, if you were to run faster, you wouldn't just take a sip of water and then you're not a flash.
Would you pay 20 quid for that?
No, it looks like a scam to me.
How would you check the reliability of something that you've seen online? The photo, the person who's posted it, the comments.
I would check, the person that sent it.
Who it is. Who it is, what it is, where it's come from.
How can what you experienced online affect you and others?
Well, first, it's the proof. If you don't know what's true and what's fake, then it can affect your mental life or your physical life.
It could affect those quite gullible. They'll just believe anything that you put on the internet and they'll just go with it.
It can give me a false sense and false belief. If I see something, I believe it. I'll go and tell my mates and tell them about this thing and spread it to others, which then they'll be like, oh, that's my mate, he tells the truth. And they would pass it on to others and just be fake, rumours.
I would check the person that sent it. If it was a news website, I would know it was fairly reliable, but if it was a person that was just tweeting about the news or talking about the news, I would then go into their profile and see if they're actually genuine about what they're talking about or they're just making stuff up.
When we look at these 2 aspects of information, we might find that the source we use the most is actually the one that we trust the least. So, should we stop using the internet for information? Do we need to create a new way to get information? Another important question is, why do we go online for information if we know that it's not always reliable? Can you defend getting your information online? What are the benefits of getting your information online? The positives of getting our information far outweigh the negatives, but we tend to hear a lot about the downsides. Here are some positives. There is lots of it. You can find out almost anything online, from the latest news to the cost of the jacket you want to the latest football scores. It's all out there for us. Speed and convenience, all this information is available to us in seconds. No walking to the library or waiting for the news to be on the TV or radio. Choice, you could read up on a topic on lots of different sites, or you might prefer to watch videos on YouTube. You might find an influencer you really like, or someone campaigning on an issue that is really important to you. The range of ways and people you can go to for this information is unbelievable. We are all part of this. No need for a reporter to write up a second-hand account. People will pick up their phones and show the world what is happening now. We are all a part of this new age of information sharing, and the online space is one where we can all be heard. Equality. Whilst not everyone in the world has the same access to the internet that many of us enjoy, this information is open to more people now, and usually for free. However, in some countries, established news sites are often paid for services. This can lead to some people thinking that free news is more likely to be fake news. It's important that we remember the great aspects of getting our information online. However, there is one big area that we need to look at, and that is the news. Research found that only 35% of 12 to 15-year-olds in the UK think that social media provides trustworthy news all or most of the time. You have probably seen and heard people talking about fake news. This has led to some people thinking that the news we see online cannot be trusted. So how does it make you feel when you go online knowing that some of the things you see might not be right or true? Annoyed, disappointed, or not that bothered? You might feel a mix of different feelings. It probably depends on the situation, what you see, what impact it has on you, and how you are already feeling that day. We can sometimes feel that this is just one of those things and there is nothing we can do. This is what those who put out news like this rely on. If we stop challenging things, there is a risk there will be more of it. Remember, the news that we get online is very important. Good quality news and information helps us to make informed decisions and educates us about the world we live in. Good quality news is out there, you just need to find it. If we allow ourselves to stop trusting any news online, how will we know what is going on in the world? How would you know about a pandemic? How would you know about important social issues like the Black Lives Matter movement or climate change marches? We have an internet that allows lots of us to get information and news in an easy and convenient way, in seconds. However, this is under threat. Think about these questions. What kind of future do you want? How do you want your information? What can you do to stop fake news spreading? What can you do to make sure that other people are not misled? The key is working together. You are not alone in dealing with this. We are all affected by false information. Here are some steps you can take and may already be doing. Unfollow unreliable accounts. Share good quality information when you find it. Talk to friends and family if you see them sharing things that you have heard something different about. Report fake news and accounts spreading false information. Talk to friends and family for support. If what you see online upsets or worries you, by all of us playing our part, we can help to build an internet that we can trust.
Hello everyone, I'm Bob Bryan, and I'm the academic prefect at Dover College. I think I was choosing for this role because I'm very driven and ambitious. I try to aim high and work very hard to get the best results possible. For example, in English, I set myself the challenge of taking the IELTS exam a year early so that I could identify where my learning gaps were. I attended the Saturday classes and it gave me a real energy to see my marks improve. It's like sports. The more you practice, the better and stronger you become. It's important to have qualifications, especially in today's competitive world. I want to go to university so that I can learn as much as possible whilst I'm there. I love developing my skills and I want to be as prepared as possible for life after school. As a boarder here, thousands of miles away from my hometown in China, I know I'm adaptable, and it is important we all learn to be flexible. We need to continue to adapt to new ways of thinking and doing things all the time. So keep pushing yourself and see where this effort can take you. Here are my top tips to you all about how to be successful with your studies. Be ambitious, set yourself goals, work hard, be organized, find, learn, and revision techniques that suit you, talk to your teachers, and don't get discouraged if you have setbacks. Just keep going.
Good morning. You may have heard the name Round Square around the college, particularly in your morning tutor sessions last term, where you were completing the collaborative projects set for you. Whilst these projects have been put on a back burner for the time being, the ideals of Round Square are still being met in our school community. But what exactly is Round Square, and what do we as a school get out of it? The Round Square organisation was founded in 1966, with the first conference taking place at Gordonston School in Scotland, the school attended by Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, and Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales. The 6 Round Square ideals of international awareness, democracy, environmental awareness, adventure, leadership and service are based on the vision of an ideal student, and their education should not just be about academic attainment. Instead of trying to explain what opportunities this gives you, I thought I'd let some Round Square students explain.
Round Square has been such a huge part of my life in high school. It's taught me that I can be so much more than what I am. There's so many experiences out there and so many opportunities, you just have to grab them. And it's definitely taught me that I have to grab those opportunities when they come my way, because they might not come again. And yeah, I really appreciated everything that Round Square has done for me. It's made a huge difference in my life.
I think the Round Square education is different to the normal education because you start thinking differently, you start thinking about other countries and more international, and get to know other cultures with the exchanges or even visit another country.
So one of the special things about being at a Round Square school is being exposed to lots of different cultures and meeting people from all over the world.
I know a lot of people who went on exchange and they used to always come back so different, so confident, so happy. And they used to tell us about their amazing experiences, what all they did, and they used to just put pictures on Instagram and everything. So I used to be like, I want to go for exchange, I want to do that.
I think the opportunities presented to students are just incredible in that you can, study abroad and go on exchange and to really immerse yourself in a completely different culture and discover the differences by yourself.
You learn so much, you make so many new friends, meeting people from different cultures. Here in my boarding house, I've made friends with Italians, Spanish people, Argentinians, Mexicans, English, and just something that I would never be exposed to at home.
For me, it means the happiest 3 months of my life. It means like a dream come true, and it means like the friendships that I will never forget. Like the idea of just the word of Round Square just like takes me back to this moment.
For me, I've certainly found characteristics of myself that I didn't know I had, so I've definitely become a more compassionate person. I've definitely 100% become more appreciative.
Being in a Round Square school, you can experience different cultures, not only the country you go to for an exchange or a service project, but also get to know people who come from all over the world to your school and ask them about what's going on in their country and know their real country, not the rumors that you've heard, but their country and how they live.
For me personally, it just meant that life isn't always about going to school and learning academically, but there are different aspects in terms of service, leadership, helping the communities around you, and just exposing yourself to different cultures, not in ways of just reading about them, but rather interacting with the people there.
What I think I've gained most from being on exchange is confidence. I've had to come into a completely different environment, make new friends, and I think my leadership skills have improved too.
I think that Round Square has given me the thought that I can be a leader, and then the skills you gain from sort of meeting other people, that sensitivity and diplomacy are going to be really helpful.
I did a service project to Fiji in Year 10. It was for 2 weeks and it was with other schools around Australia. So I had Canberra, Alice Springs and kids from Perth. It was very enriching. It was quite an experience. We did a week in a remote village which was living with a host family, and it was completely different to anything I'd really ever experienced. And then doing a week on a remote island, we did an ocean cleanup, we lived with the families, we kind of really got into the culture.
Round Square has definitely helped me gain confidence, as through Round Square I've been able to learn how to form friendships, so it's not too difficult in university.
If you ask me now, I could give a speech in front of 100 people, I don't mind that because I'm enough confident to do that.
I think it allows me to experience different aspects of life, so not just focusing on academics but more on the leadership aspect, adventure, service and so on, so it broadens my horizons more, yeah.
You know, the impact that these opportunities have on you, it's really empowering you to set you up for your life to come. Yeah. And like fun. Round Square is so much fun. I wish I could do these things again, but I can't.
If these opportunities appeal to you, then I would invite you to join the Round Square Committee. The committee will be responsible for championing Round Square at Dover College, and will have the opportunity to attend conferences virtually at first, but around the UK, Europe and the world once things head back to normality. If you are interested, please enter your name into the form that your tutors will share with you. If you have any further questions, please email me. Have a good week.
God, help me love the life I live right now. Show me the good things I often overlook and help me be content with what I have. Forgive me when I compare myself to others. Forgive me for longing for things outside of you and your kingdom. Thank you for loving me right where I am, right as I am. Help me keep my eyes on you. In Jesus' name, Amen.